ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखांशां विदांश्च। हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री गुरु नारायणगिरिदास भगवान। It's a very long time. Sorry for that.
Okay. So today we have to start with verse 31.
Yeah.
Who would like to do the verse 31?
I can do.
Okay, Mom.
पवतामस्मि
Pavanah pavatamasmi.
रामशस्त्रप्रदामहम्
Ramashastra
जशानां मकरश्चास्मि
Makarashmi.
स्रोतसामस्मि जानवी
Samasmi Jahnavi.
पवनः the wind, pavatam of all that purifies, asmi I am, Ramaha Rama, Sastra Pradam of the carriers of weapon, aham I am, Jasanam of all fish, Makaraka the shark, Cha also asmi I am, Srodasam of flowing rivers, asmi I am, Janavi the river Janavi, river Ganges of purifiers, I am the wind of the wielders of weapon, I am Rama. Of all fish, I am the shark, and of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges.
Okay. Pavanah pavatamasmi. Pavatam. Puta. Whatever purifies. Out of all that, I am the wind. Rama Shastra Bhritamaham. Now here we can take this in two ways. Different acharyas have translated the word Rama differently. So some of them have said this is Lord Shri Dasharati Rama. And others have said that this is Parashurama. Why Parashurama? Because this chapter, if you see, is about the Lord's vibhuti, about his opulences. Meaning what? Vibhuti means how he expresses his powers, right? So when you look at Parashurama, he is an expression of the Lord's Shakti Avesha avatar. Shakti Avesha avatar. So it can be taken to mean Lord Parashurama as well. So if you look at Baladev Vidyabhushan and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they both translate it as Parashurama. And others translate it as Lord Sri Rama. So both. The whole idea behind this chapter is for us to be able to remember the Lord in some way. So whether we remember him by remembering Lord Sitaram, remembering his wonderful activities, wonderful leelas, or we remember him in the form of Lord Parashurama. Either way, the whole idea is to remember the Lord. Because in the beginning, Arjuna is asking Krishna, he says, how can I see you around me and therefore remember you? That is why the Lord's going off on this long list. This is to enable us to look around and see him everywhere around us. And for that, he's showing us the different forms that his Shaktis can take, his powers can take. Rama Shastra Bhratam Aham. So I am Rama who carries all the Shastras, weapons. Jhashanam Makaraschashmi. Jhashanam Makaraha. Makara it's actually a mythical aquatic animal. It is considered to be the Vahana of Ganga Devi, Yamuna Devi, Varuna Devata, and it's variously depicted as anything from a crocodile to a shark, including characteristics of both crocodile and shark. So in some places it looks like a crocodile with even an elephant's nose, a trunk like with fins at the back. Yeah, so it's kind of a mix. It's kind of a mythical creature. So Jhashanam Makara Chashmi. Makara is also the symbol of Capricorn, the constellation. And Makara Dwaja is another name for Kamadeva. Why? Because he has the emblem of Makara. So Jhashanam Makaraschasmi. Srotasam Asmi Jahnavi. Srota, Sravati, one that flows. So amongst the rivers, Srotasam Asmi Jahnavi. I am the river Ganges, the most pure, the most powerful. Text 32. Who'd like to go? Yes, Vidushi.
Sarganam adirantascha Madhyam Chaivahamarjuna
Madhyam Shaivahamarjuna
Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam
Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam
Vadah Pravadatamaham
Vadapravadatamaham
Sarganam, of all creations, Adi, the beginning, Antaha, end, Cha, Antaha, end, Cha, and, Madhyam, middle, Cha, also, Eva, certainly, Aham, I am, Arjuna, O Arjuna, Adhyatma, Vidya, spiritual knowledge, Vidyanam, of all education, Vada, the the natural conclusion, pravadatam, of arguments, aham, I am. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth.
Excellent. Sarganam adihi antah cha madhyam cha eva aham. Ahameva Arjuna. Okay. Now compare it to verse 20, where Krishna is saying Ahamatma Gudakesha. Sarva Bhutashaya Stithaha. Aham Adishcha Madhyam cha Bhutanam Anta Evacha. What is the difference? There also he is saying Adi, Madhya, Anta. Yes, Vidushi.
A small one that I just picked out, Mataji, is in the translation here in 20 it says, "I am the beginning, middle, and end of all beings," and in here he says, "I'm the beginning and the middle of all creations. I am the beginning and middle." Or
Excellent. Excellent. So there he's talking about Bhuta, all living entities. He says every living entity is born, has a middle where it grows, reproduces, stays, dwindles, and finally dies. So the birth, the maintenance, and the death of all living entities is me. I'm the cause. Here he's saying Sarganam, of all creation. So it's not just living entities. Here he's talking about whether it's a mountain, a rock, a stone, a river, the wind, the sky, the fire. He's talking about every possible part of creation. So he says, Sarganam, anything that is created. Adihi, Madhyam, Antah cha Ahameva. I alone am the cause, the beginning, the maintainer, and the destroyer of everything that is created. Then he says, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. Amongst all Vidyas, amongst all bodies of knowledge. So in I made a note of that. So in Shastras, there are supposed to be 18 types of Vidyas, of which 14 are listed in the Vishnu Purana as follows. They are Shiksha, which is so this is the Ved, these are the Shad Vedanga, the 6 Angas of the Vedas. What are they? Shiksha, Vyakarana, Nirupta, Kalpa, Jyotisha, Chanda. So Shiksha is the study of phonetics. Vyakarana is the study of grammar. And Nirupta is the study of etymology. So these 3 come under the study of the language itself, right? Of the Sanskrit language itself. Then comes the 4th, which is Chanda, which is the meter. So how is this language now expressed? It's expressed in the form of these meters. Then comes the knowledge of Kalpa. Kalpa is how your sacrifices are performed, rituals. And last is Jyotisha, which is astrology. So all these 6 were used for sacrificial purposes. So if you see Sanskrit language itself, the development of the Sanskrit language itself has a purpose. And the purpose is to serve the Lord. So right from Shiksha, Vyakarana, Nirupta, and Chanda, these are language related. Then you have Kalpa, which is rituals related, and Jyotisha, which then tells you which is the right time to perform these rituals. astrology. So you have the Shad Vedanga. Then you have the 4 Vedas, Rig, Sama, Yajur, Atharva. And then you have Mimamsa, which is Karma Mimamsa, Nyaya, study of logic, Dharma Shastra, morality, and the Puranas. So these together comprise the 14 areas, 14 types of Vidya. So I was able to get 14 out of 18. I'm not sure about the other 4. I'll try and find them if I can. So Adhyatma, now, these are all the different types of Vidyas. Now, out of all these Vidyas, which is the Vidya that actually leads you to self-realization? Adhyatma, spiritual knowledge, that leads you to knowing who am I? Who am I truly? What is my relationship with everything around me? Is there a God? What is my relationship with Him? Who is He? All these are the different questions that one has when one starts to follow the path of spirituality. So Krishna is saying the knowledge that one acquires through this body of knowledge, which deals with spirituality, he says, I am that body of knowledge, meaning that is the highest form of knowledge. And then he says, Vadaha pravadatam aham. Now, pravadatam means out of all the various kinds of arguments. So there are basically 3 main types of arguments, which are called Vada, Jalpa, and Vitanda. Okay. Now, Vada is considered the topmost. Why is it the topmost? Because Vada is the kind of discussion one has when one wants to achieve a result. It is focused on finding an answer. It is not focused on personalities. It is not focused on it's not focused on egos. Okay? It's only focused on the truth. Whereas once you have, so usually how this works when you come into an argument situation or a debate situation is once you have managed to establish your Vada, then it is protected by Jalpa and Vitanda. So what is Vitanda? Vitanda means your own point, you put it forward and you don't say, you just repeat that. No, but see, what I'm saying is this. That is Vitanda. On the other hand, Jalpa is when both opposing parties put their views forward. So, while Vitanda and Jalpa do not necessarily feel like they basically feel like they are a waste of time, right? I mean, you're just sitting there arguing. But when it comes to Nyaya Shastra, they actually have a purpose. The purpose is to make your point heard and to support it with various syllogisms. So that would mean with various, this is my proposition, okay? And this is the reason that I'm saying this, so my inference. This is an example, udaharana, okay? This is the example that goes with my logic, okay? And this is how it's applied in real life. And therefore, this is my conclusion. So this is how it's presented. So when Jalpa So you have Vitanda, one person putting forward their view, which could lead to a Jalpa where two people then put forward their views, goes back and forth. But then it ends up with a Vada. So if it doesn't end up in Vada, it's a waste of time. So 1, 2, 3, the third step has to be achieved. See, usually when you get into a debate with somebody, the moment you say something, the other person's not going to say, oh, yes, yes, I accept what you're saying. It's never going to happen. So Vada cannot happen unless you have your Jalpa first and then Jalpa coming from the other side and both sides, bashing it out and then coming to Vada. So what Krishna is saying is, there are these 3 steps. Don't get stuck in 1 and 2. Don't just keep arguing because you like to be heard. Argue and make sure you come up with a final conclusion. Does that make sense? So, Vada Pravadatamaham. Then, what does he say? So, that's it. Adhyatma Vidya, Vidyanam, Vada Pravadatam Aham. Any questions? Okay. The next one. Who would like to go? Yes, Sushamataji.
Aksharanam akarosmi
Aksharanamakaroऽस्मि
Dvandva Samasikasya cha
द्वन्द्वसमसिकस्य च
Aham eva kshaya kalo
अहम् एव क्षयकालो
Dataham Vishvato Mukha
आदाहं विश्वमुखः
कः
Aksharanam of letters, Akaraha the first letter, Asmi I am, Dvandvaha the dwell, Samasikasya of compounds, Cha and Aham I am, Eva certainly, Akshayaha eternal, Kalaha time, Data the creator, Aham I am, Vishvataha Mukhaha Brahma. Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma.
Aksharanam Akaraha Asmi. Akaraha. What does Akaraha mean? Akara. Yes. So in Sanskrit, various aksharas have denote various devatas as well. So A is Krishna, Ka is Brahma, and I actually had a whole list someplace. Even numbers. Yeah. A is Krishna, Ka is Brahma, Ya is Shiva, Ba is Varuna, E is Kandarpa, Ya, U, both are Shiva. Then there is Kha is Surya Dev, La is Indra. Very interesting, no? And then you have the number okay, now I myself don't understand my shorthand. Yeah, the number 6 is equal to the word anga. Dvi means 12. Dvi means 12. Go means 9. Isha means 11. So yeah, there are lots of these short forms within Sanskrit. Now, why would a be used to denote Lord Sri Krishna? Why do you think that is?
That is the first alphabet.
Yes. What else?
Vowel.
It's a vowel. Very good. Why? So if it's a vowel, yes, Vidushi.
It's also om. So the actual like sound, the first sound. It's also
Okay.
Avuyim is home. So
Okay.
first one is a. That's why.
Okay. What else?
I think the A sound is there in every letter. It has, that is the thing, that is the why it is Krishna.
good job.
Exactly. Exactly. Brilliant, Mataji. Brilliant. Because try saying any sound without saying the O sound. Even your O, you have to first go O, So when you say what is happening? All you had to do was the is there, you just had to move your lip. Right? So all your sounds arise from a. Try saying it. All I'm doing is just the sound. What is happening? I'm just moving my lips. And it gets modified. So you cannot have any sound which does not have the sound. And in that way, Krishna pervades the entire speech, sound. We're not talking only about a particular language. He pervades sound. And therefore, he is Akaraha. Aksharanam Akarosmi. All right. Then what does he say? Now we are doing samas. So he says, Dvandvaha samasikasya cha. Amongst all the samasas, amongst all compound words, I am dvandva samasa. Now we haven't done dvandva samasa. Dvandva means two together. Okay. So like Ramakrishna, Radha Krishna, Sita Rama. So how does this work? If we were to take, remember in our last class, we took one example. Umapatihi. Okay. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about Uma? No. Who are we talking about? Umapatihi. Okay, we're talking about Uma's husband. Yeah. Umapati. So there are two words, Uma and Pati. But effectively, we are only talking about Pati. We are not really talking about Uma. We are only talking about Shankara. Which means in this samasa, the value of Uma is reduced to being a supporting character. Right? Whereas when you take Sita Ramau, who are we talking about? Sita and Rama. Both of them have to be present over there for that word to make sense. So both have equal weightage. So this kind, now there are how many types of samas, Prabhuji? Total? 4. A little more than 4 also. Dvigu can be introduced. So anyway, so there are at least 4 types of samas.
I think Dvigu will come under Karmadharya.
Sometimes it's taken separately also. That's why. So there are all these kinds of samas. All of them work on the principle where one overrides the other, except for Dvandva Samasa, where both are equal. And Dvandva Samasa works in the principle of A and B. So he says, I am of all of this. I am Dvandva Samasa. Why? Because 2 elements join together and still retain their individual identity. Lord Krishna is with all of us. Does that mean he loses his identity? No, never. What is our identity? Sorry, Vidushi?
The part and parcels of Krishna's or amshas of Krishna.
Okay, that is our spiritual identity. And materially, what is our identity?
I.
But it's dependent on something else, right?
True.
My identity is dependent on not just me. It's firstly dependent on my parents to give me my life. And from there on, it's I am so and so, I am so and so's sister, daughter, wife, cousin. It works like that. Boss. So our identity in the material world is dependent on something else. Krishna's identity is completely independent of anything, be it in the material world or in the spiritual world. Dvandva. Dvandva Samasa. Both. And then who's the second? Now, when we say Krishna, the other is the Jiva. So we are both equally important. Dvandva Samasa. Okay.
Generally, it is said Seshan, Seshi.
Can
So
you explain that, Prabhu?
He is Seshan, we are Seshi.
Yes,
So
the remaining
devotees are Seshi. Dasan.
Dasa.
The God, we are Seshi.
Mm.
Seshan is Bhagavan. He is the Supreme Person.
So, Aksharanam akarosmi dvandva samasikasya cha aham eva akshayah kalah. I am time. I am time that never decays. Akshayah. Na kshayah. Now, in the very next verse, he actually says, I am all devouring time. Mrityuhu sarvaharaschaham. I'm all devouring death, sorry. Mrityuhu sarvaharaschaham. Now, how does mrityu actually work? In the material world, how does any form of destruction work? What causes destruction?
Due to wear and tear.
Yes, wear and tear of, and therefore?
Destruction.
Vidushi?
Time causes destruction.
Time causes destruction. Wear and tear happens due to time. Sometimes you don't even have to touch something. Like for instance, you can have a big iron bar sitting out there. Just give it time. And a few years later, you go and touch it and it just powders away. So time is the great destroyer. Time destroys using various faculties, various facilities. But the main destroyer is time. So he says, aham kalaha. I am time. What is the quality of time? The quality of time is to destroy. But I am akshaya kalaha. I am time who is indestructible. The time doesn't affect me. And more importantly, when we come to Sanatana Dharma, when it comes to comparison between Sanatana Dharma versus other faiths, for everyone else, time is linear. You have one life, you have one birth, you have one death. And then you are put in that, you wait till, it's judgment day or whatever, and then you're given that judgment. And then you are allocated either a heaven or a hell, and that's where you stay permanently. So it's linear. You start and you go from A, finish off at B, and that's it. Whereas Sanatana Dharma, for us, time is cyclical. It's a cycle. We don't say that this is our only life. We say, I've had millions and billions of life before this, and I will have billions and billions of life ahead of this. It's a choice I make by my actions. What does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktirahitukitvai. He says, oh Lord, give me many, many, many millions of births. But make sure I just have bhakti for you. That's all. So when it comes to Sanatana Dharma, we are not too worried about, oh, this is my only life. I have to, get things done in this particular life, or else, it's lost. No, you always have another chance. Now, whether the chance is going to be a good chance or a bad chance, that is in your hand. Because it depends on what kind of karmas you're doing today. We say if we do good karmas, we come back, we have a good life. If we do bad karmas, we come back, we have a bad life. Then we have the path of bhakti, where we say that if we do the actions, bhakti, karma, then all of those will just burn up all your past karmas. And even if you're born, what happens? Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktirahitukitvai. So when Krishna is saying aham akshayah kalaha, he's talking about a time, because with other faiths, what's happening? You have a time that's linear. It has a beginning and an end. Our time has no beginning, no end. It is a cycle. It's constantly in motion. Make sense? Okay, so aham evakshayah kalo, dhataham vishvato mukhaha. The word dhata comes from the root dhatru, which means to nourish. So here, dhata has been used as creator, which is also correct. It's another name for Lord Brahma. And dhata can also mean nourisher. And vishvato mukhaha. Vishvato mukhaha means one who has faces in all directions, which you can take as Lord Brahma, or you can take as the Supreme Brahman, who is all-pervading and who nourishes all creation. Make sense? Any questions? So Next one. Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Mrityuhu sarvaharashaham.
Mrityuh sarvarasham.
Sarvarashaham
Utpavascha bhavishyatam.
Uddhavasya bhavishyatam
Kirtihi srirvaksha narinam.
Kirti Vachanarina
Shrutirmeta tritikshama.
Smritir Medha Ritikshama.
Mrityuhu death. Sarvahara all devouring. Cha also. Aham I am. Utpavaha generation. Cha also. Bhavishyatam of the future. Kirti fame. Sritvak beautiful speech. Cha also. Narinam of woman. Smith memory. Meda intelligence. Drit Drit faithfulness. Shama patience. I am all devouring death, and I am the generator of all things yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, and patience.
So, like we saw in the earlier verse, Kalaha, Akshara Kala, Mrityu Sarvaharaschaham. He says, I am the imperishable time and I am death which devours everything. Everything. So, here death does not mean only for living entities, it means the destruction of anything that is created. And Udbhava Udbhavaha bhavishyatam. And whatever is going to come, I am the cause. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Whatever is going to come, also I am only the cause. And then he says, Kirtihi Shrihi Vak cha Narinam Smritihi Medha Dhritihi Kshama. Now, Kirti, Shri, Vak, Smriti, Medha, Dhriti, Kshama. These are all daughters of Prajapati Daksha. Okay. So out of Daksha's 24 daughters, 7 have been named here. And the cha, Shri, Vak, cha indicates all the others as well. Okay. So these daughters, they are considered, out of these, Kirti, Medha and Dhriti were married to Dharma, Smriti to Angira, Kshama to Pulaha. Shri was married to Shri Vishnu. Shri is the daughter of Bhrigu and Khyati. Now, Khyati is the daughter of Daksha, by the way. So, and Vak is the daughter of Brahma. Now, these words here not only indicate these personalities, so these personalities are basically the presiding deities of these qualities. So what Krishna is saying is, Kirti, Shri, Vak, Smriti, Medha, Dhriti and Kshama are qualities that are found naturally in women. And what kind of women? Great women. These are qualities that are found in very great women. Women like Draupadi, like Sita, like Kunti, Parvati, the gopis. This is the kind of qualities that are found in these exalted ladies. And what are these qualities? Kirti. Kirti means fame. Fame, not infamy. Fame because you have done something wonderful. Fame due to wonderful qualities. Shri. Shri means beauty. It means opulence. It means wealth. Vak. Vak means intelligent speech. Beautiful speech, but very intelligent as well. It's not just the babblings of a child. Even the babblings of a small child is beautiful speech. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about very intelligent speech, very well thought out, very measured. Smriti. Smriti means the ability to remember anything that has happened. Medha. What is the difference between Smriti and Medha? Medha also means memory. It means memory, remembering knowledge from scriptures. That is Medha. So, which is where the word Medhavi comes. Medhavi is a person who is a man who is very well read. He's called a Medhavi. So, Medha means remembering ideas and knowledge from scriptures, books. Medha. Dhriti. Dhriti has a wonderful meaning. It means the ability to stay upright even when completely fatigued. The ability to prevent restlessness in the body, which could lead to unrestrained behavior. So, dhriti is the ability. So, and this actually got me thinking, because when do we get most angry? When we are tired. Isn't it? We tell ourselves, oh, I'm not going to get angry, or I'm not going to eat junk food. And when we are at our fittest, that's when we can carry out all these resolutions of ours. But when we are super tired, we don't have the mental strength to ward off these urges. And that is dhriti. The ability, even when you are absolutely so tired you can't sit, but even at that time you are completely in possession of all your faculties, physical and mental, which is amazing. And the last is kshama. Kshama means the ability to be equipoised in joy and sorrow. So these are the qualities that are found in really great women, Kunti Maharani, Draupadi, Sita Devi, ladies who faced the utmost challenges that were thrown at them with complete equanimity and dignity. So Krishna says, all these qualities, I am them. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll stop here for today. We'll give it a pause and we'll meet again next week. Any questions? Yes, Prabhuji.
Here, Udbhavascha Bhavishyatam. Bhavishyatam, what ending is that, Mataji? I'm trying to recollect. I couldn't get it.
Udbhavacha Bhavishyatam. Bhavishya. That should be.
Because that comes in Atmanepadi. I don't know why is it coming in.
This is not Atmanepadi.
Yeah, because it comes in Bhavati, right? Bhavati.
Yeah. So just give me half a tick.
Bhavishya is like future. So why is it coming in?
Yeah. Because Bhavishyatam, Bhavish. No, because this is noun. We are not talking about. Just give me a minute. Let me just think of that. Bhavishyatam is yeah, so it is Bhavishyat Shashti Bahuvachanam. It is following the same pattern. Vidyanam, Jashanam, Bhavishyatam, of whatever is coming in the future. So it is still Shashti Bahuvachanam, but the noun there is Bhavishyat, Takara.
Okay, Bhavishyatam. Okay.
So Bhu, Bhavishyat, Bhavishyatam. Make sense?
So Bhavishyat is a noun, not a verb.
Yes. So Bhavishyat. So Bhavishyat is in the form of an object which is in the future.
Future, yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Takaranta. Okay. Okay, so then let's pause here for today. Bahu bahu dhanyawadaha.
Hare Krishna.
Kalpatarubyascha tapasubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna ma.